And this is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services, Talking Business, our interview series talking with leaders in the fields of banking, insurance, customer service, digital marketing, and business education, and all to highlight the great work done by our team at CBSI in Harrison, New York. We provide insurance-backed benefits to the credit card and payments industry and customer service management, and our team doing a great job taking care of our clients and their customers during this COVID pandemic. Now, we're really excited to have back with us good friend Jason Steele, who's got a new position with Money.com. He is, of course, the founder of the CardCon conference, and which is going to be held online again in November, and has been a writer following the credit card and travel industry in recent years. Jason, how are you? Good to see you today.
Good to see you as well. I've been doing this for 12 years now, actually.
12 years. Wow. Well, you are an expert. Well, we were excited. Last time we talked, you were just back from a trip to Israel and to South Africa, and quite an adventure you told getting back, because you just as the pandemic was starting to really shut down the international airlines, and you described your story. How has everything been going for you since then? What have you seen happening? Obviously, you've got an exciting new position.
Yeah, well, I haven't gotten on a commercial airliner since I had to return from that vacation hastily in the middle of March. So since then, I've been doing like most Americans, staying home a lot, spending time with my family. Professionally, the writing in regards to travel really diminished, obviously, with people traveling. If people aren't traveling, people aren't reading about travel quite as much. And the credit card industry itself really kind of went into hibernation over the summer, ironically, just due to the uncertainties in the economy. So it was about that time I started looking for a full-time opportunity, and I connected with my friends at a company called Ad Practitioners. They're based out of Puerto Rico that I've been working with, and they had acquired Money.com, which was formerly Money Magazine, and they were thrilled to have me on board as a credit card expert. And of course, I was really excited to join them. And what we're doing is we're building up the credit card content on their site. It's already a very high authority site for any subject related to finance and personal finance. And with my help, I'm trying to make it a very prominent site when it comes to credit card information, both in regards to travel rewards, other types of rewards, but also people who are looking to pay off balances and build credit, and all aspects of the credit card industry.
Well, that's terrific. I mean, I for years subscribed to Money Magazine, and it was always considered really an expert text in managing personal finance, and for so many people to learn how to manage saving money, planning for financial needs, and for retirement. So that's going to be terrific. Is there any directions that you have for your article so far for Money.com?
I'm sorry?
Oh, any topics that you have yet for your
Oh, yeah. No, I've been writing about a lot of the changes that are happening very rapidly in the credit card industry to accommodate people's changing lifestyles. Whereas a year ago, I personally was traveling 2 or 3 times a month. Now I may not travel again until next year. So, people who have these travel rewards cards are starting to wonder, should I pay the annual fee? Should I cancel them? Should I get a cashback card? And of course, the issuers of these travel rewards cards want you to stay the course. So, for example, I just wrote an article today about how Chase is now offering additional rewards on their Sapphire Preferred and Sapphire Reserve, these tremendously popular travel rewards cards. They're offering additional rewards for grocery purchases. They're basically treating it much the same as they treat travel. So your Sapphire Preferred would get 2x points on grocery purchases up to $1,000 a month, and your Reserve would get 3x points on grocery purchases up to $1,000 a month, just like you would get unlimited on travel, and you still do. So things like that. In fact, next year you'll be able to use your $300 travel credit on your Sapphire Reserve for grocery spend or gas spend. So even if you don't have any travel expenses at all, you'll still be able to utilize that benefit. It's a very smart move on their part. And we've been seeing similar moves across the board from the major card issuers. going forward. So it's Capital One, Amex, all the major travel rewards card issuers are reimagining or enhancing their credit cards to make the value proposition better for those who are not traveling right now.
Well, certainly there have been certain segments that have improved in activity and transactions on cards, such as groceries and e-commerce. But certainly, as we know, the airline business has ground to a near halt. The last I read is airline traffic's at about 30% of normal right now, and the drastic impact that's had on hotels, car rentals, travel and entertainment, restaurants, and so on. But that's interesting how you see. Is that the way you've seen it? That there's certain segments that especially around home, and have had a lot of activity, but other segments have just dropped off.
Yeah, I mean, what I found was that over the summer, the card issuers were not spending money marketing their products. They were anecdotally, they're being very stingy in who they were willing to approve. Lots of stories of people with excellent credit and no debt being declined for premium rewards cards. So as the economy was in free fall in the spring and early summer, they really didn't know when that would end, and they really didn't know if they were going to see a wave of mass defaults. So it was given that moment, it was probably a good idea not to be approving new credit card accounts and not to be marketing, trying to acquire customers that you weren't going to approve to begin with. Towards the end of the summer, that started to change. And a lot of industry insiders told me, yeah, the credit card industry, they're not, nobody wants to stick their neck out. So when the first company starts revamping their products and re-engaging with their marketing, all the other companies will follow suit. And that's what we've seen happen over the last 2 months. That we've seen increased offers for welcome bonuses. We've seen enhancements to existing products. We've seen anecdotally, of course, people starting to be approved for new credit cards. And it's kind of like, at least from in the short term, maybe not. I don't know if I want to say the light at the end of the tunnel, but I would say something more like the economy bottomed out, and we have a frame of reference. We're in a recessionary period. We know where the economy is going. We know that the worst is behind us. Things might not be great, but if you're a lender, if you're a credit card issuer, you have some certainty going forward that your customers who are still have a job, they're still earning money, their credit score is still good, you still have the opportunity to acquire a valuable customer now. Whereas a few months ago, you really did not know what the future held for that particular customer or for the economy as a whole.
Yes, and how do you see it working for smaller banks? We've done a number of stories about how the independent bankers, community bankers did a lot to support small business and with the Paycheck Protection Loan Program, and also but issuing credit. How do you see the smaller banks working with their credit card portfolios over this period?
Yeah, I mean, the smaller banks have a natural advantage in that they can get to know their customers. When I talk to regional banks at industry events, I say you have an advantage. You know what the people in your region, in your city, in your state, you know who they are and what they want. And I think in times of economic crisis, being able to pick up the phone and talk to your banker is a great thing. And it stands in sharp contrast maybe to what a large card issuer can do. So that's some of their advantages. They don't have the marketing budget of the big card issuers. They don't have that reach. They won't have the partnerships with the airlines and hotels and things like that. I think small banks continue to have to play to their strengths. Credit unions, I'm a big fan of credit unions as well. They have other strengths as well, but they don't have that profit motive that a for-profit card issuer has to achieve. So yeah, I think the future is still bright for regional banks and credit unions.
Very good. Now you've got a conference that we have really enjoyed participating in. We were with you last year in Washington, D.C., and this year you were going to just hold it in Colorado, but you moved it online for November 16th to 19th. Tell us about your CardCon conference for this year.
Yeah, we were super excited to have it here in Denver, Colorado this year, and heck, the ski slopes probably would have been open by early November. when we were supposed to have had it, but that just wasn't in the cards this year. And by early summer, it was clear that I was either going to have to cancel the conference for this year or do something innovative and hold an online conference. And of course, that's what we chose to do. My goal with the online conference was not to live stream an in-person event. That would be boring, I think. I don't know if I'd want to attend that. So I threw out the book and I reimagined it. I said, what works for an online event? And quickly I learned that you need shorter hours per day. We just cannot stare at Zoom for hours and hours a day. My kids do that for homeschooling. I sometimes have that one. I have back-to-back calls all day long. And wow, it's not fun. Part of what I enjoy about conferences, part of the reason I started conferences, because I enjoy it. I enjoy meeting my colleagues. I enjoy interacting with them and learning new things. And so to have fun with it, we kept it to 3 hours a day. And we're going to have panel presentations. We'll have keynote speakers. We'll have roundtable discussions. We'll have networking events. We'll have entertainment events. It'll be not as much fun as grabbing beers in downtown Denver, I suppose, but we're going to make this as much as fun, as engaging, as interactive as we can. These are difficult times for everybody, and we're just going to do the best we can. I think it'll be nice to see everyone again. I'm getting some very positive feedback about this format, and we'll see how it goes.
Well, it's going to be hard to top what you did last year for an outing. You took us over to the Washington Nationals baseball park, and we ended up getting some batting practice out of their under the stands batting cages, which was really fun. A great start to the conference. And
I take personal responsibility for the Nats winning the World Series following our visit. I think every time CardCon visits the National Stadium, I believe they will win the World Series.
Well, that was an extraordinary opportunity that I really enjoyed, and I know the whole group did that went with you that day. And then you followed it up with a very interesting conference. So Winnie's son gave a great talk, and some of your other speakers from last year.
Winnie, I just spoke with her yesterday. She will be joining us again this year. She's a good friend of mine, and she's going to be kind of interviewing one of the keynote speakers, an executive from Chase. So, what we're learning, very quickly is that when you have an online conference, it's difficult to have a monologue. It's difficult to kind of stand on stage and carry the room when you're in your living room and the audiences around the country, around the world. So Winnie's going to do a great job interviewing an executive from Chase. So we're glad to have her back.
That's good, John. She was very nice to meet and chat with at your event last year. And I know she'll add a lot. I watch some every evening. She's got a live video covering the financial results of the day, and we enjoy listening to those. Any of the other speakers that you can hint at?
Sure. Well, I've already announced our agenda, so I can do more than hint. I can tell you who we have. Our first keynote speaker is Summer Hall, and she often goes by the name of her original blog, Mommy Points. Which was acquired by none other than the Points guy a few years ago. So I've been following her work for a long time, since I'm a family traveler myself, and it felt like 10 years ago when I started reading her work, or nearly 10 years ago. All the most popular travel bloggers were single people. They were childless couples. They were gallivanting around the world in first class, and going out to bars and restaurants and all these things that weren't necessarily options for family travelers. And so her content really resonated with me. And not only was she covering family travel, which many people did, but she had the award travel aspect to it. And she's always been a really top-notch award travel blogger. There are tips and tricks I use to this day that I remember the moment when I read it in her blog and thought, wow, that's genius. So her being acquired by the Points guy, a site that I've contributed to for many years, was another genius stroke. And I think she has a lot to tell in her nearly 10-year journey in credit cards and travel awards. So I'm really excited. I'll be on stage facilitating that interview. I don't want to talk much. I just mostly want to hear what she has to say. Other presentations we have, when it comes to consumer credit, we're going to have a presentation with a representative from FICO, from VantageScore, and Experian. So you don't get much more relevant or much more leadership in this field than those three parties, and they're going to be talking about the current state of consumer credit and COVID right now. We're going to talk about affiliate marketing is very important. We have panels with a lot of the leading voices in affiliate marketing. We have a panel talking about credit card rewards and where does that go from here. So if you look at our agenda at CardConExpo.com, you'll see it's mostly complete. We're only adding to it from now on, but I think it's a very compelling group of speakers that I think if you are a professional in credit cards and consumer credit, you will want to participate in this event.
And what's a website that those interested in participating? I know you have people who are writers. You also have practitioners in the field and
Sure.
and providers to the field who are interested. What's the best website to
Through
get information?
CardConExpo.com, CardConExpo.com, and you'll see the agenda. You'll see some people who spoke last year. You'll see the registration link, of course. If a company's interested in sponsorship, they can reach out to me directly, and we're happy to work with them. It's a really, it's about 2/3 media and about 1/3 industry are the attendees. So really, it's a conference for the media, content creators, publishers, but of course, the industry wants to interact with them. And the great thing is that the content creators like myself want to interact with the industry. It's not like I don't know, you go to a farmer's market, someone's selling T-shirts, and you're just like, go away. It's more like, hey, I write about these companies all the time. I want to get to know them. I want to develop a source. I want to hear about their latest products and services. So it's a really good relationship between industry and media in this field.
Well, we will look forward to that. It's November 16th to the 19th online, and we enjoyed it last year, and we'll look forward to tuning in on your conference in November, and watch for your work on money.com, as you are now the director of credit card content for that online publication. Formerly one of the great publications in financial advice, Money magazine. I enjoyed for many years, and just a final thought for us. What do you see happening with the economy? It seems so driven by how the COVID epidemic continues, or hopefully starts to disappear in the near future. What you're thinking about the economy?
I think it's going to improve slowly, as we saw following the last recession. The advantage of having done this for 12 years, I remember very strongly what happened in 2008, and I think we'll see a similar, if not even more rapid recovery next year once the vaccine becomes available, or multiple vaccines become available and are distributed. I think a weight will be lifted off the economy. People will be thrilled to return to travel, to ball games, to concerts, to restaurants, things like that. I think there's a lot of evidence showing that people are saving money by not engaging in discretionary spending. So I think there will be a pent-up savings, a pent-up demand that we'll see returning sometime in the mid part of next year. And I just think psychologically we'll all get a boost when we give a hug to our best friends.
Yeah, no, we so look forward to getting together again for so many avenues of our lives, and certainly for business, and seeing such as your gathering. Hopefully next year we can do it. You'll be able to do it in person. And
Yep.
Jason, just want to thank you so much for joining us. Now the director of credit card content at money.com and the founder of CardConExpo, which will be November 16th and 19th. Final last word for us?
Well, I'll also be excited to announce here on your show that CardCon Denver, which was supposed to be this year, will be next year. So in 2021, we will all do what we plan to do this year, which is to come to Denver, hang out downtown, maybe get a few runs in before or after the conference at the ski slopes, if that's your kind of thing, or hike or something like that. And nothing is canceled. It's all just postponed, you might say.
And the other side of my life, covering college football, Army plays out at Air Force second Saturday of November next year. So maybe the two will coincide.
Maybe. Yeah, Air Force Academy is right down the road here. It's a beautiful campus.
Absolutely. Jason Steele, thank you so much for your time today. And we will look forward to the CardCon conference, November 16th and 19th, and your articles in money.com. Great to see you today.
Great to see you again, Ken. Have a great day.
Our pleasure. Thank you. This is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services Talking Business, all to highlight the great work of our team at CBSI Services in the payments field. and we're based in Harrison, New York. I'm at my home office in White Plains today, and just want to say have a great day, and we'll see you again very soon for another episode of CBSI Talking Business.